Grave Reviews, this is Chris.
Have you tracked the children?
There's no children here. It's not safe for them.
This is Alan, and Chris is right. Grave Reviews is intended for mature audiences. Your discretion is advised. Grave Reviews presents Thursday Night Frights. Hello, everybody. How are you today?
What up?
You know, Chris and I were discussing before the show today that we just don't want to be pinheads anymore. And, you know, we met nurses that we could go for. If you understand that, then you are a part of the family. Thank you so much. That all being said, tonight we are trying something different. We have, hopefully, we have Facebook Live and X running as well as YouTube tonight. So really hoping that that's the case. And Chris, how is your week, sir?
Doing well this week. Work's coming to the end of the week. Not that I get a day off, but it's the end of the week. So, you know, tomorrow's my drive day. So I drive around all day long. So there's a little things that I look forward to. Other than that, it's about 350 to 400 miles of yay.
So I don't know if you do this or not. Do you have Spotify?
Oh yeah.
All right, so try to, if you can. Well, it looks like we are definitely on Facebook, because when I put hello everyone, it went to Facebook as well. So there you go. We're seeing that in our.
I'm showing X. X looks good too.
Excellent. I'm glad to see it. All right. So it on Spotify, this is for everyone in the chat tonight. Also, you have the ability to listen to the No Sleep podcast. Are you aware of them?
I think they are probably somewhere I'm following anyway.
Yeah,
I've listened to them in a while.
They have some good horror stories. A lot of fun. So yeah, that's a good one. And of course, you know, you can always queue up Rocket to Russia and listen to it from beginning to end.
Good album.
Great album. Anyway, so who we got in the chat room tonight?
We've got the lovely Mar saying hello to everyone.
Hello, Mar.
I see LG in the chat.
Hello, Miss LG. She has the blue wrench of power tonight.
And, hey, Alan, I think we got speaking of the Ramones, horror figs and shiz in the chat. What's up?
We do accept you. You just simply by being here, horror figs and shiz. You are a member of the Talking Dead. We accept you. You are one of us. Welcome to the family, sir. Big hugs, big kisses, and don't worry, we don't have a knife to put in your back just yet.
Just yet. Welcome, bienvenue.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate it very much.
And of course, we got what up, Darius from the podcast of Pain. He's in and out of the chat tonight, but thanks for stopping by, buddy.
What up, Darius?
Sexy.
Yeah, I'm telling you
when he does that.
It is. Anyway. So tonight we're talking about it's funny. I was talking to some other friends of mine, just chit-chatting, and I said that we were covering Wolf Cop, and they kind of gave me that look like, you're covering what? And I'm like, Wolf Cop, and I said it's a 2014 horror comedy, and they're like, oh, I don't know that I've heard of this. I'm like, well, dude, it's on Tubi, watch it.
Right.
So here's my experience with this movie as a whole. I actually, first time I watched it, I was like, what am I watching? Why am I watching this? The second time I watched it, now that was years ago. The second time I watched it was for the show, and then one more time after that. And I actually come to realize on my second viewing that I like this movie a lot more than I thought I did from the first viewing.
Right.
And it was one of those, I was sitting there going, why am I watching this? But I was doing it with a shit-eating grin on my face.
This movie is good for that. This one passed me by in 2014. Didn't get to see it until we put it on our docket. So I always do a watch the week of, and then a second watch usually the day before, the day of. And instead I watched it the first time, and I was kind of like, I see the appeal. It's goofy. Second time watching it through, I was like, okay, you know, this is silly. And I found myself doing the same thing. And I watched it a third time just for the hell of it, because I'm sitting there with a dumb smile on my face saying, I don't know what I'm watching, but this is ridiculous.
And
And
that's just
somebody else needs to see this. Like I would. It's definitely a movie. I related to back in the days of having cable because we're streaming customers now with just internet. But having cable, this is wake up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. There's nothing going on. You know you're going to be up for about an hour and a half. Throw this in because you'll have some goofy laughs and some maybe some WTF, and but you'll smile while you're doing it.
yeah, and that really is what it is. It's all about the smile. It's all about the fun. So, just wanted to uh, say that I totally agree with you on that. I mean, it was one of those things where it was like, well, whatever. But then all of a sudden, I catch myself giggling at some of the stupid jokes and some of the stupid pranks. And I'm looking at the gang leader, who's played by Jesse Moss, and going, where do I know him from? I know this guy. I come to
Right.
find out he's in one of my favorite horror comedies of all time, which was Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yep.
And then you've got Sarah Lind, who's, oh wow.
Very nice.
You
Very
know,
nice.
very nice. And just real quick, Silver Spear just came into the chat room. Silver Spear, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. I'm
Thanks,
not
man.
I'm not a boil, but I do happen to know that some of our girls are ghouls. Just so you know.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
This is true. And then of course, there was a little tidbit that what was our lead's name in this movie?
Yeah, and like I said earlier before the broadcast, it was my third time through where it was just caught me like, what did they say his name is? Garou. Garou. Okay, one very close to Rougarou, which is a cryptid down south, Louisiana bayous of a dogman, basically. And Loup Garou is actually French for werewolf. So, gotcha. You got me on that one. All right.
Got me too. Got me too.
Oh, wait, came back, hit me in the back of the head. So, yeah. And realizing that it kind of all comes together. Like this movie is very aware of itself. Obviously, the premise alone, a drunken, you know, defunct cop who drinks all day, screws everything up, becomes a werewolf, due to plans centuries in the making, and where we go from it. A lot of twists and turns in this one. I will say. Now
It
we
took me a
know.
minute.
So big, so big.
So
Bart.
big. All right. So for those of you who are in the chat who may have missed it, horror figs and shiz is also he's known as AKA our good friend Speedo.
In a
Greedo
speedo.
in a speedo. And real quick before we can, everyone who happens to be in the chat room, do me a favor, pick your glass up real quick. To my good friend Chris, to LG, to my wife Maureen, who's backed us tonight, is a special night. It is our 25th episode, our 25th anniversary, if you will.
25.
Thank you so much for joining us on big number 25. You guys, we appreciate you. Have a great night. Thank you. And we're out. No, I'm just teasing.
Yeah, that's it.
So let's start this. Let's jump into this thing. Let's go in from the beginning and walk them through it, and they can figure out whether or not they want to watch this movie.
Yeah, we get the credits are rolling. I love the we're fading in and out of some things that are going on. We've got pentagrams, we've got what seem to be witches, we've got odd things going on, eclipses, and it leads us into our movie where we're basically starting off with a cop who's waking up obviously late, obviously little hair of the dog, to head on into work.
Yep.
And he's a bum.
Oh.
He comes into work and it's hilarious. You've got a chief, you've got our drunken deputy here, as well as one other person. So this police task force has 3 people on it. One of them is a complete and total drunk, one's an overachiever, and the chief is just fine with both of them.
And I will say that Tina, Amy Matiso, I think is her name. She nailed that role. She did. The overachieving. I'm gonna solve this case whether you want me to or not. I thought she was great.
Right. She's volunteering for all the shifts, so she's working like 24 hours a day. They kind of nail this right in. You've got the yin and the yang when it comes to the two deputies of this little town here. And we also are introduced to our first guy, who is our main bro through most of this movie, Willie,
Mhm. Yep. Willie
who
Higgins.
is the local gun nut because he owns a gun store, and he's calling in with all these crazy videos of, like, some weird stuff happening. Like, there's this going on. There's dressed up like pigs, man, and of course, our Lou Garou here is like, well, it's heavy metal
Yeah.
fans,
Eh,
brushes it
nothing to worry
off.
about. Nothing
Well,
to worry about.
there's something going on. There's something going on, and it leads to him having to go out and actually investigate this, what seems to be a cult. Um, Now, in between here, we've got some political things going on. We got an old
Yep.
mayor, who's been ruling the roost for quite some time now, and we've got the up and comer who's all about getting rid of corruption.
Yeah.
And we get all of this in the scene of the bar, where you have like every character apparently in this town goes to this bar, which is next to the store that sells liquor donuts, which is
Which I thought was a really, really interesting and fun twist on that, to be honest with
right.
you.
And so he goes out to investigate another one of Willie's, you know, crazy schemes that are going on. This conspiracy theorists, no, there's some occultists. So he goes on the scene, and what do we find? Is we find some sort of black magic spell going on. The
Yep.
up and coming runner to the mayoral candidacy here is hanging upside down. Excuse me, and something's going on. To which where our wonderful police officer here is knocked out. Um,
So my question for you here, Chris, is what
yeah.
did you think about the occult aspect of this being a werewolf transformation versus it being just a normal, I got chased down and bit by a werewolf?
Well, it kind of plays hard into that curse. The reasoning behind the curse, the big reveal of sorts later.
Yep.
Um, Very strange. It was definitely an original take on the whole process. I like the curse idea.
I do too.
I've
I do.
always liked that. And when we come into the changing here, which basically our cop wakes up, he's got a pentagram that's been carved into his chest that he didn't realize. As
Yeah.
you do, you wake up, from a bit of a bender, and they've carved something very deep into your flesh. Of course, you wouldn't realize it right away.
Why would I know that?
Oh, see, I'm just worried about the splitting headache I've got from,
From the alcohol and
right,
whatever else.
right. So, so he goes on to, show up at another robbery. There's all this crime going on in this town. We see from our head bad guy here, played by what's his name, Jesse.
Jesse Moss.
Yes.
Jesse Moss.
The gang leader.
Yes.
Which he doesn't look the part of a gang leader
At all.
At all. He's like a step above a boy kind of look. But who am I? He's got some power in this town, and he's got a bunch of hooligans behind him. So they're trying to catch these guys in the act, as
As you would.
you would think. And so we're where are we here? So he's we've got to investigate this case. We've got to we realize that all of a sudden my wounds are now healed.
Right.
So something's going on. He just dressed them in some bandage. They're healed up, and he goes back to
His favorite place to think.
favorite place to think is the bar, of course.
Which I don't blame him at this
Right.
point.
Jessica's at the bar, and
Yes.
there seems to be something between them.
I
Or
do like the fact that you kind of start to realize by like the pictures and so forth, they're slowly laying the seeds at this point that um, both Leo and Jessica, I'm sorry, not Leo, Lou, both Lou and Jessica have this traumatic event in their history in common.
right,
And they do it through the conversation at the bar as well as like the memorabilia at the bar, the pictures and things like that.
right,
So they did. I think that the director probably did in my opinion anyway, they did a really good job on that part of it because it does draw you into why are these. It's a small town, right? So I mean,
right.
it's not. I mean, everyone knows everybody, but they went the extra mile to be sure that everyone was aware of what was
Right.
going on. So I
Absolutely.
I, I did like especially
Yeah.
that portion of it.
You have the overachiever cop. Her father owned the bar at one point,
Hmm.
Tina, and Lou Garou's father was basically the last cop, and he died 32 years ago on an eclipse, which we're running into. We're coming up on. We're just days away. Um, so of course, as he's talking at the bar, bartender kicks everybody out. Everybody out. Time to go. Time to go. Starts pouring drinks for our boy here,
Right.
our cop. And so everybody leaves, some reluctantly, a little upset that they got to go. But she gets him drunk, and something's happening. He doesn't feel right. So he runs downstairs. And I will tell you, this is a first, sir. We have
Yes.
yet to see a werewolf transformation like we got to see in this
Yes.
first transformation scene. Practical effects be damned. It's too real.
I literally okay. So for those of you who don't know who didn't see it, as he whips his dick out to take a pee, all of a sudden you see the trigger warning for any of those that are in the
Trigger
room.
warning. Yeah,
Trigger
that's
warning. He starts to pee, and all of a sudden his pee turns into blood, and it makes you go, "Oh my god!" And then they back up, and you see his wang,
wolf dork.
and it's a wolf dork because it's changing. Which,
Well, first they've got it flopping out there, and it explodes.
uh-huh.
And we have our transformation has begun on the penis.
And I don't know about you, but as a man, I went.
I went, well, that's different.
uh,
I, Wolfman's got nards.
yeah, he does definitely has an arch.
Wolfman's got wolf dork, man, full on.
Yeah,
What a way to go. And this is one of those werewolf transformations that basically shed the skin of a human, which
right.
I like that idea of just flesh sloughing
Yep.
off of this inner beast.
And it was done really well. It was not done as well as it was in Trick or Treat for different
Right.
reasons whatsoever. But I thought it was done very well. And I'm with you. I kind of like I like it both ways.
Yeah,
I
this was interesting. It played it up to be able to play into it later. But of course, it's his skin falls off, his arms fall off. Pulls his face out of the skin. He pulls his chest off like it's Superman, and he's got the S underneath. Instead,
Yeah.
it's just nasty matted hair. Um,
Uh-huh.
but it's great. It was these
I will.
practical effects can hold up through time.
Yeah,
It's
and the whole starting with his dick, that it literally made you go, as LG said, what the fuck is this? What is happening?
right. Like, and I saw. Did I just see a wolf penis explode
Uh,
outside of a man's penis?
and explode,
Yes,
right?
you did.
Um, and yes, you are correct on this one. It does suck if you have to piss blood, but it literally made you. It was just off-putting enough to set the tone for the whole scene because
It
this
does.
scene
Like,
becomes
wow, they went all in.
yeah, and
Okay.
it becomes very bloody very quickly.
Right. Now, it's at this point in the movie, I kind of have a feeling about this bartender because we had some bad guys riding around outside, she seemed to be just too kind of cool with the fact that these guys are weird and driving around outside. I don't know, but we've got some guys come in, break in. They've got some bats.
Yep.
They look to be looking for this cop. They're going to beat the hell out of this cop. And boy, did they pick the wrong time. If they had shown up 20 minutes earlier, mission
No problem.
accomplished.
No problem.
No, they showed up too late because they walk in on a freshly transformed wolf, and they pay the price. We've got some slashing and crashing and screaming, and one guy gets his clothes ripped off of him.
Oh, and literally there was like, uh, when they show the aftermath, it literally looked like these guys were put through a blender.
Yeah,
There were literally,
which is great because now we're bringing. So our wolf cop wakes up. He has no idea what's going on. Like,
no.
Doesn't remember anything. He just another bender. Got to go to work. Shows up to work where they're already investigating this scene, and I love the fact that the coroner's there, and they're like, "What do you think?" And he's like, "Well, if it wasn't for the amount of flesh that's laying around, I'd say a lover's quarrel."
Yeah.
And to which the deputy, Tina, picks up the mask and, "Oh, it looks like you. Think go down to the brewery." Oh my goodness, we're over the top with this. It's so, and he has no clue, but he's starting to get these flashbacks. Like, oh,
it was almost reminiscent to me. That scene was reminiscent to me of Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
The
whole wearing the face,
and I was laughing. So I was like, and it's one of those things where you're laughing at it, going, "Okay, this is wrong. I know I shouldn't be. I know I shouldn't be laughing right now, but oh my god, that's funny."
Because she's the straight arrow cop, and that's what she comes up with. So, bravo, we've leaned into it hard, and
yes. Which is what you need to do in these kind of movies, right? Let's lean into it.
Right. So the funny thing is that we end up having him getting caught by his friend Willie when he transforms. That's how he gets out. And Willie decides, like, we've got to lock you up, man, because you're going to turn, and we got to contain you because werewolves, And of course, the conspiracy theorist, he's already most likely full on believed already. So he's all about, like, we've got to get you. So our cop here, Lou, realizes, yep, this is probably me. He's probably right. Tells Tina, hey, I'll pull your shift tonight.
Yep.
And she's, gives him that look. What are you, drunk? No, I'm just trying to be nice,
Because he's never done anything like that before.
Right. No, he sleeps. He doesn't even make his own shift, let alone an extra shift.
and not only that, but he's the kind of guy who's all about himself. He doesn't really care about anyone or anything but himself. So I understand why she's, Tina's like, nah, what's going on?
Yep. So she says she relinquishes her duty for that night, and he decides that he's going to go and bring Willie in. So everybody leaves. He's all set. They come in. Willie's got his camcorder and his tripod. We're going to lock you in the cell. Give me your underwear. No, no, not giving you my underwear. Well, give me your underwear. No, it's for science. It's for science. For science.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm going to laugh at you.
To which Tina comes walking in because she still can't believe that he took over this shift to find him half naked in a cell with a video camera on him. And she's just like, oh, that's what's going on. You guys are making
it was the way she reacted was just classic, because she's like, oh yeah, I just walked in. My partner, Lou, is probably making some kind of weird porn, I'm sorry, corn, some sort of weird corn video.
Right.
And I was, again, it's one of those things. The first time I was like, the second time I'm grinning and going, oh my god, that's so funny.
It's hilarious. And of course we get that whole, waiting to the last second. He starts to change, and he's, bugging out, and the skin's stretching and ripping, and Willie's over there. Oh God, oh yeah, and then we get about halfway, 3/4 of the way through the transformation, and he's like, oh, forgot to record. So we get the full transformation. Willie's there, like in all its glory. Drink.
Yeah.
He wants alcohol. Over there, it's like, okay, it's wild man bourbon. Gives him the bottle, downs a bottle of alcohol, smashes it, needs more. So, of
Yep.
course, there's no alcohol left. Give them the liquor donuts. They've got liquor in them.
I love that. I don't know why I'm like, I wish we had a liquor donuts around here.
Especially when he points at the box, and Willie's like, "You mean you want you eat?" And we get we get a lot of these through this show, through this movie so far. There's nods to some things and to other movies. The transformations, they're very American Werewolf-ish in style. We see the hair growth at one point when he tries to shave. It's that same, retraction of hair kind of thing. That practical effect.
I thought that was a really good effect the way they did it.
It's good. It's a solid effect, man.
Yeah, because he wasn't transforming at that point in time. He was just shaving the next day.
And the hair grew right back.
Literally, the hair grows right back, and they show the close up of the skin with the hair growing. I was like, that was well done.
And there's also a lot of points in this movie where it comes to a point where the natural progression would be to a former horror movie scene or portion of a scene, and it pauses but doesn't quite take you over that hill. It kind of insinuates that, that's where we were going, but we're not going there. I love that. So
I do too. I think that they, again, I've said the director in this movie made some very solid choices on, was it the greatest filmed? No, the lighting wasn't perfect or whatever, but he made solid choices on when to stop, when to show something, when not to show something. And when
to be ridiculous, which is when we get these guys playing Go Fish with a werewolf. And, he's been drinking, and we find out that the phone starts ringing, and he rips the jail door off to answer the phone as a werewolf with a pen.
Yeah.
With Willie going, "Whoa, pump the brakes. What are you doing?" And he's like, "You're a wolf."
Cop.
I
loved it. I was like, what a way to lean into it.
Of course. And here we go. What is his first thing? The liquor donuts is being robbed by 3 little pigs.
Yes.
So we'll send in the big bad wolf cop. This is great. Willie's going with them because he's the babysitter.
Right.
And, he gets out of the car, and the one guy brings over the cases to the car, and he tears that guy apart. And then the other guy comes, and he tears that guy apart. Goes inside, and there's one guy left with the gun. Have a bit of a shootout to where he comes around behind him, roars at him, and the guy faints because it's a damn werewolf roar.
It was funny, And then what I loved about this scene is at the end of it. I don't know if you caught this or not, but he just picked up the liquor bottle, nodded his head like, "Yep, we took care of it," and walked out with the liquor bottle.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, officer.
Yeah, because in all things, Lou is an alcoholic first and foremost.
Yeah, and he's a power drinker when he's a wolf, apparently, because it's almost like he seems to be getting his power from this. So he comes back to the car, and Willie's like, "We gotta go back. Like, we can't do this." He just tore them apart. Which is funny. You got the bad guys. They're robbing a place, and you tore them apart. Justice served.
Justice served. Exactly. We could use a little more of that in today's society, but that's just me.
And here's a nod to another werewolf movie. They look across the street because as he's getting in the car, he rips the door off, and there's Styles Auto Body, which is a nice little nod to Teen Wolf there with his friend Styles.
Yes.
And we move into a montage of Pimp My Ride.
So bad. It's so
We lift the hood, a whole bunch of stuff happens. He closes the hood. Nothing's changed under the engine or under that hood. We basically created a metal wing W in the back for Wolf.
And on the hood that's somehow lit with fire.
With fire. And the lights are now, straight up and down with the car instead of
Which I
across.
don't understand what the hell that was going to do, but okay, whatever.
And they're off to fight some crime. And, because that took no time at all to pimp his ride. And even Willie says, now that you pimped your ride, what are we going to do? And the first stop is a bunch of kids tagging underneath the bridge, with the spray paint.
Oh, yeah.
And you hear, my turn. And he starts peeing on them.
So funny. Oh, I love
Okay.
the fact that they went with the I'm going to keep enough of my humanity that I'm going to be able to talk to these guys and so forth, because it led to some great humor. It really did.
Right. And we get this whole, like, he's obviously a better cop. He's showing up to places that has the crime going on. He's eats too much asparagus, apparently.
Apparently.
Gross. Yeah, he's off fighting crime until we need to get him back. But he smells something, and here we turn into Breaking Wolf. He sniffs his way to a meth lab.
Yeah. Breaking Wolf. That's good. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and we decide to follow him back to this meth lab, and we're gonna take down this meth lab.
Yep.
Once again, Willie's in the car, but as he's in the car, you get that little moment where he's a little upset, a little worried, and he calls somebody.
Yeah.
So what's going on
like,
with Willie?
Like, this isn't exactly going as we thought it was going to. It's kind of what you're hearing from him at this point.
Right.
And I do like the fact that they kind of leaned into the wolf with the smell, because he, through a lot of this movie, you catch him kind of sniffing the air before he does anything. So I thought that was kind of a neat little nod to the whole dog, thing, so to speak.
Well, that, and prior to this, he was completely clueless as a police officer.
Yes.
No skill whatsoever other than being able to get dressed barely. We take down this meth lab, set the place on fire, kill a bunch of the guys, the whole time Willie's in the car. We gotta go. It's gonna blow. It's gonna blow. It's gonna blow. It's gonna blow. Until one of the scientists says, "Hey, it's gonna blow."
Yeah. and
and it blows.
And it blows. This is also where we kind of got a quick shot in this scene of Jesse, who is our gang leader, who is sniffing a drug that is like nothing that we've ever seen before. It's dark red crystals.
Right. What's going on there? That seems a little weird.
Seems a little weird. Hello, Spencer. Wolf Cop. Love the poster. No, nothing else. You don't have to know a whole lot other than it's a fun movie, and we're going to chit-chat it up a little bit.
Right. He's a wolf. He's a cop. Here comes the fuzz.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Willie finally convinces Lou, we got to get back before you turn back to whatever, human. Go back to the jail. They go back to the jail to find Jessica as Little Red Riding Hood. Pretty much with her getup, waiting for them with a basket of stuff.
Whatever. This scene, to me, if you're watching this movie, guys and girls, fast forward over this scene.
It's so cringy.
It's so cringy. It is so bad.
He is a full-on dog, and she knows it.
And she's gonna f him anyway.
She's like, oh, you're much bigger. Oh, your teeth are so much bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, and we go down that route, and it is extended. There's a great music solo going on in the background.
Oh, absolutely.
The music is top notch right now. But what are we watching? Yes, you are, dude.
Yeah, you're watching this really
You're
hot
watching
chick.
it.
With a werewolf.
And sadly, we do not see Sarah Lind naked. She did have a body double.
Yeah.
But here we are. Rule in place. We got to see some boobies.
Yeah, we did.
So half star right away.
Yep. Werewolf.
Yeah.
Werewolf. Werewolf.
Exactly. Yeah, it was a very extended scene that didn't need to happen.
No.
They get finished. She gets up, makes them a drink, which is funny. You see this bottle of Jack Daniels. You think it's Jack Daniels. It's
Mhm.
actually Jim Dandy's #2 Tennessee whiskey.
Jim Dainty's #2.
If you pause, I had to pause it because I couldn't. At this point, it seemed like product placement, and it's not. It's
No.
just, but very well done.
Yeah, because I can guarantee you, Jack Daniels did not sponsor this movie.
They're like, can we? Or like, get the fuck out of here.
They're like, no,
You
no,
gotta go.
no.
So she makes him a drink, slips a little something into his drink. Aha! I knew she was the bad guy. And gives it to him. He drinks it, realizes right away something's in it.
Hmm.
We pan back to Jessica, who says, there's a lot of things you don't know about me. And she turns. She's a shapeshifter. She's a lizard woman shapeshifter. And she is using this eclipse to drink the beast's blood to extend her life.
Yes, and so this is where we find out that the crystal that the gang leader is sniffing is crystallized werewolf blood.
Yeah, freeze-dried werewolf blood. And so we not only did that sex scene just happen, but it wasn't some hot girl banging a wolf. It was a wolf banging an old lady.
Yeah, a really
Very
old lady.
old lady. We'll we come to her age later. So basically, it's the next day. She makes a call. The hearse that Willie drives pulls up to the police station. Oh no!
Hello, Darius.
What up, D? Betrayed, dude. The ultimate betrayal. Our man Willie is not a good guy.
No,
He's
not at
working
all.
for the bad guys. In fact, he's one of the bad guys.
Yeah. He's
So,
one of the three that we see at the very beginning of the movie wearing the long cloaks, and
yep.
he's part of that whole cult that's trying to, as Chris just mentioned, live longer through ingesting the werewolf blood.
Yep. At one point, we do get a little bit of that's another montage. This movie likes montages of the studying going around about the occult and shapeshifters wanting to basically take the blood of the beast on an eclipse. It is when the beast is at its weakest, and by drinking their blood extends their life. We've got the mayor who is now yelling at Willie that he screwed up. He had one job, and that was to make sure the prey doesn't get away. And he's trying to say, like, this one's different. You kind of get that feeling like they're friends. It's his friend.
Yeah.
But also that it seems like every time he gets drunk, he gets more powerful. He's going to have a problem.
He is the werewolf version of Drunken Master. The more he drinks, the badder ass he gets.
Right. Right.
Sorry, had to throw that Jackie Chan reference in there for everybody.
Right. So they take him out to the ritual spot and chain him to a tree. The eclipse is coming, which is funny. This town has a drink and shoot where they send all of the town's residents out into the woods every year with guns to find the beast and kill.
Right.
Because this is a tradition that's been going on now 200 years.
Yes.
That these people have been, every eclipse that comes through, they create through curses a beast in order to sacrifice him for the benefits of extending their lives.
And the only time the drunken shoot has ever previously been canceled was also on the night of the full moon.
The night that Lou's father was killed.
Exactly.
Right. And we have a great back and forth while he's chained up, where he's like, I can't believe I slept with a 200-year-old woman. And she's like, who said I was a woman?
Great. It was great. That's I literally in my head I went,
nice.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Nice. Yeah, and so they're trying to get him all set up. Of course, We've got Tina, who's put this all together, and she is got another montage of her getting dressed up in her cop gear to go out with a sniper rifle, because the big bad here has brought all of his minions with him,
Yes.
which is great. You've got some guys in tack vests, you got some guys in hockey pads, you've got a guy wearing either a puffy jacket or a life suit or a life
I
preserver.
don't know what that was,
It
but
is the most ragtag bunch of mercenaries you have ever seen. But they're protecting this special thing, which is great because we go from the gang leader to the chief of police slash bad guy. He ships back and forth, and
right.
even one of his minions is like, he's wearing this cloak, and he's like, why are you wearing that?
Yeah.
Screw it, just shoot him anyway. Which,
Just
by the way,
just don't ask questions or else I will shoot you in the head.
yeah, shot with a blunderbuss, bro. He's got some old style blunderbuss musket,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you don't know what Chris is talking about there, that you remember the old muskets? You had to have seen pictures of them or what have you, and it was basically like a regular musket on the side, but as it went towards the end, it went out like a horn.
Flares out.
It flares out like a horn, and they were known to have lots and lots of smoke and lots of feedback, or
Right.
not
Yeah,
feedback.
like grape shot comes out of the damn
Yeah.
things.
Oh, yeah. Which you couldn't hit anything from 100 yards. But man, if you were standing within 10 feet of somebody, they were going
What a
to,
mess.
it was going to be a mess. Exactly.
What a mess. So we have him change as the moon starts getting closer. The eclipse comes over, and the mayor here, Mayor Bradley, comes up with this sword to stab him, so he starts bleeding, and we got the chalice underneath to start collecting his blood, and our boy Willie's going to be the first one to drink it, but thankfully Tina's in the waitings, takes the shot. Willie's dead. We see him diddly-doo into his lizard form, and then burst into flames and burn to ashes, which that's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on. We've got all of the mercenaries running around trying to stop things. Now we've got Lou breaks free of his curse because in the commotion finds the flask that is now his, and it's his liquid courage, his liquid power for wolfdom. Some alcohol.
So he pulls the drunken master. I'm going to drink this pure alcohol, and it's going to power up, and I'm going to kick your ass.
Right. Popeye's got spinach. Wolf Cop's got grain alcohol.
Perfect analogy. Perfect analogy.
And he does. He wolfs out. We've got a sword versus nail fight. We've got the ripping of the man's face off and having him scream. And then having him show up over here screaming. And then have him showing up at the car where Willie's inside at one point. It's just, there's so much going on that...
And you're literally
everywhere.
and you're saying to yourself, how long is this eclipse?
It's going on for a while.
It's going on for a while.
We've got the mayor ends up boiling down to battle it out with Tina. And Tina has the gun. She's going to shoot. The mayor uses her shape-shifting abilities and changes over into being the mayor, or into Jessica again from the bar. Connecting that for Tina. They're going to have it out, and they start battling it out.
Yes.
There's punching and kicking and some elbows, and decent little fight, to which she finally catches a bullet and is dead.
And goes through the transformation where you find out that she wasn't a female, she was a lizard person also.
Right. So Tina's coming over. We've got Wolf Cop who's on the ground, drained. And she's, hey, partner, a little one-on-one with each other there, to find out that there's still one more. The chief of police, the head gang leader, all in one. He's a bad guy too, and he's there.
Yeah.
And you're not going to beat him. He's obviously the most powerful of them all because he's the one with that little snuff can full of wolf dust.
Yeah,
I guess.
wolf dust. That's just wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you like snuff. That's where he gets his power. We've got a back and forth with him. We've got a back and forth with Tina. Tina stabs him with the sword, in which case he turns around and stabs her with the sword while it's still in him. Till we get the showdown of Wolf Cop standing up and our boy turning around with his blunderbuss pointed at him. And what are you looking to get out of this? He shoots the guy in the head and says, a promotion.
Promotion. I'm taking your spot. Hello, Miss Trina. Welcome so much to the show. We appreciate you being here.
Absolutely. Again, this is really goofy. This movie, it was a little rough to get through the first time.
It was.
Partly, it was mainly on me. I couldn't get hey, Rolando. I couldn't get a good night to start it early enough, so I fell asleep a couple times. Second time through, okay, is it a cult favorite of mine? No, but I can understand the appeal. There's a lot of firsts in this movie for sure, transformation wise. Hopefully, a first and only time I ever have that happen to me while watching a wolf transform.
Yeah, I don't think I need to see that bloody exploding penis again.
Oh, you made me
No.
cringe with the blood in the stream, dude.
Oh
I
yeah.
did not need to see the next,
No.
30 seconds. Holy cow.
Oh my god. It's so wrong.
So, with him dead, the changeling's dead. It's obviously we've got Wolf Cop and Tina are together, and they're going to take over. And now the corruption and the crime all make sense.
Yep.
It was these three shapeshifters that have been running this town for 200 years.
Yep.
Some podunk town, which they make mention of, how funny, But they do mention that you would be amazed how far power reaches. I don't know about another Wolf Cop. I didn't watch
I
it
don't
yet.
even. Nope.
But it's obviously setting something up. I will say, did you watch through the end of the credits?
I watched. Oh, you know what? I don't think I did.
There is a scene at the end of the credits here.
Please.
Okay, so at one point in the movie when Lou is now back into his physical form, he doesn't quite know he's a wolf, but he knows
Yeah.
something's off. And that asshole's walking around with the dog, and the dog's looking at him
Yeah.
weird. And the guy slaps the dog and kicks the dog, and he's
"Don't
like,
do that." Exactly.
don't do that. Or what? Well, finally our credits roll, and we've got the dog outside, and he's barking. And guy comes out, whips off his belt, and goes to hit the dog. And there we have Lou, all in wolf form. Don't do it. And the credits, that scene ends. So we do get a little redemption in the end. That poor little puppy that was getting kicked around, that guy
Nice.
got his.
Nice. Which is funny because I didn't even think that there would be a scene on this. Because it was 2014. That wasn't a real popular thing at that point in time.
No. It was a nice little Easter egg in the end. I only ended up seeing it because I was just laughing about the movie, and I was looking up a couple things about the movie. I wanted to see where these people went afterwards, and it just happened to roll through the credits, and I looked up and went, "Oh, there's a credit scene. Oh shit."
Yeah. So just so everyone realizes in the chat that when we say that we don't talk to each other about the movie till the night of, it's not like I even got a text that said, "Hey man, did you know that there's an after scene?"
I was today while I was at work. Was when I was doing it and letting it roll, and went, oh shit. So
Right.
yeah, it's about 2 seconds, but we get a little redemption arc for our poor little puppy that was
That's
being
awesome.
abused.
That's awesome.
This
Well,
was so yeah, and so Tina and Lou have limped off together. Fun movie, man. Fun movie in the
yes.
end. I like I said, a lot of firsts. I love practical effects. This is what shows you. This was technically a crowd-funded movie.
Yeah.
It won $1 million Cinecoup prize, which went towards the production. They made like I think a sketchboard and somewhat of a trailer for their idea. They won
Yep.
this $1 million. They put it into the movie. So $1 million budget. These practical effects, man, they stick with you. Even
They
as
did a great job
cheesy
with
as a
it.
movie this is. Now, we've
Hmm.
seen worse acting, we've seen worse cinematography.
Yep.
It's not bare minimum, um, but it's a low budget film. But
Yep.
those practical effects, they work. As ridiculous as they were, they worked.
You could tell that that's where the lion's share of their money went. You know, um,
That and maybe like the whole meth factory kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah, blowing that building up, I'm sure. Yeah. So that being said, when I first watched this, okay, and even this week, rewatching it when as I did for tonight, the beginning of the movie, the title screens, if you will, where they're doing all the occult stuff and tying in the werewolf stuff and all that, I was sorely impressed.
Yeah.
Which is funny because the scenes where they were actually using the actors where they were walking through the woods and you see the three of them in the cloaks, actually
Yeah.
felt a little out of place with the rest of it.
Right.
But the way it was edited with the music and everything I was like, bravo, you guys did a great job of setting the tone for this movie. Really nice job. Really nice job with that.
Even the credits with the rap song.
Yeah.
I loved the end of it.
Yep.
It was good. Music was spot on. What was it? The Shooting Guns did the music for this.
Yes.
Bravo, dude.
Yes.
You took a very cringy scene and you stole it because I didn't really want to watch what the hell was going on screen too much.
Yeah.
But the music was
Yeah,
superb.
I agree. I agree. For those of you who don't realize, Chris is talking about the sex scene.
Love scene.
There you go. Thank you. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so
Right.
on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being this is a miserable dredge that I am angry that I spent time watching. 10 being it transcends the genre, and I don't care if you're a horror movie fan or not. You need to watch this. 5 hits all the marks. Where would you put Wolf Cop?
Definitely hit all the marks on this movie.
Yeah.
There was a good story arc to this whole thing. It was very well thought up with the little things that they put in to progress the story and give you the backstory you needed to know what was going on. Well done.
Yep. Yep.
So we're above a 5. Is it going to transcend the genre? No, God no.
Yeah.
Even that one scene that transcends some stuff, but no, not the genre. So I would have to say. Of course, the boobies give it a half a point. We'll go with a 6.5. Enjoyable movie, hits all the marks.
I was going to say it's really funny that you said that 6.5 because I was going to say 7.
Okay.
Okay, I was going to say 7 based on special effects, as you said, the musical score, the stuff that they did story wise that you wouldn't expect, like using the small cues in the bar to tell the backstory and things along those lines. But that one scene subtracts a star or 2 from
It
it.
is way too long.
And it was way unnecessary. It was one of those things where it literally felt like
Oh,
we.
he wanted us to be uncomfortable.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it
But
was
it
a
also
goal.
it just felt like they were just using it to pad time with,
Yeah.
the way they stretched it out. They could have not shown anything at all and just insinuated, and it would have done what it needed to do.
Would have been great.
Still made you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But that being said, I'm going to drop it back to I'm going to say an even 6.
Okay.
And the only reason it got to that was because the fact that the people who starred in this, Jonathan Cherry as Willie, and Amy Mazzio as Tina, Jesse Moss as the gang leader, and of course Sarah Land as Jessica, they sold this movie. They knew what they were starring in, and they took everything they had. So I'm going to say a solid 6 on this.
Definitely good. And I do want to say the half star for boobs comes from our friends, we've been longtime viewers of the Salty Nerd, Salty and Matt Vader. They had said that, and it stuck with me because it's true.
Yep.
You can get a boob in there, you deserve a half star.
And if it is done within the context of the movie, that's
Right,
where you
yeah.
get the star, right?
Or if you could come right out of some like left field and you didn't expect it, but hey,
Well,
but
like when we saw Thanksgiving, the very first scene,
right,
we're both
pilgrim boobs.
it was funny because we were talking about it. We were both like, "What just happened?" Anyway,
Why?
so we
Just pull
know
your shirt up.
so our stars mean nothing, and our rating means nothing to the shit list. The shit list is rewatchability and enjoyability. The thing will probably always be number one. We all know
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And we have some some surprises on here. As of right now, it's our 25th show, and we've got it in 25th place. But we're going to move that. Where would you think that, Chris, that Wolf Cop? Well, let's do it this way. Is Wolf Cop? Well, let's go here. It's a werewolf movie. Would you put Wolf Cop anywhere near Dog Soldiers?
I would put the transformations pretty close to it, regardless of the quality of the movie, just because. It was a matted dog underneath some weird Chewbacca, but I love this flesh falling off and the gore from it.
Yep.
It was great.
It was.
But am I going to put it next to Dog Soldiers on the list? No. This is the 25th edition to our list.
Yes.
However, I can tell you right now, definitely not as good as Ginger Snaps. I enjoyed Ginger Snaps a little bit more. I thought that one changed the genre, and that's why.
I'm going to give you that. So that being said, then we're down into our bottom 5, if you will. Would you say better than Swamp Zombies?
I think it was a little better than Swamp Zombies. I enjoyed it a little more than Swamp Zombies.
I know that LG is going to be screaming right now at
Of
her
course she is.
screen when I say, is it or is it not better than April Fool's Day?
I will say yes, only because the twist happening in this movie doesn't make it to where I don't need to see it again. I wouldn't mind watching it again somewhere down the road.
Yeah.
April Fool's Day, I don't feel like it really.
Okay, I'm good with that. Let's go to 21. Now I'm going to say this about that though, just so you're aware. This will be the third time I've seen it. Right, I watched it a long time ago. I've watched it twice for the show. I'm not going to need to see this for quite a long time.
Right? Yeah, that's true. I just watched it 3 times in a week.
Right.
I'm good.
Now that being said, if I were doing one of my late night outside bonfire horror movies, projector side, that kind of thing outside, and someone said, "Oh man, let's just look for something silly and fun," I go, "Okay, how about Wolf Cop?" And I think that would be something I would do. I don't know if I would seek it out otherwise, but you never know.
It was fun, and I'm actually curious. I think I'll probably watch the sequel just to see where they went with this. There's a lot of catchphrases I see with the sequel where,
Yes.
the was it the long hair of the law? And there was a couple of them that were in there that I saw that they pulled from it. On top of what we started with this one is, here comes the fuzz. Was the catchphrase.
I love Half Man.
Yeah, half man, half wolf, all cup.
Oh,
That is so good. It
oh,
was good.
so good, so good. I don't know if everyone in the chat room agrees with us or not. We're going to say we're going to put this one at 21. It's going to be above April Fool's Day. I think that LG will allow us to put it there because she loved April Fool's Day. I mean, I'm surprised that she's not
She
like throwing a fit right now. Um,
she's looking at it as there's two movies I hated next to each other. Eh.
eh, at least we didn't knock out Zombievers because Zombievers is definitely a stronger movie. So
It is. It is absolutely. The other, like I said, April Fool's Day is a strong movie. It's just that the problem is that once the twists out, everything kind of loses its
yeah,
appeal.
once the reveal has been made, it makes it hard. And I hadn't seen it, as we said, I hadn't seen it since its original release, and I still was like, on the second one. And I love Deborah, the star of it. I think she's
Mhm.
great. You know, I actually almost watched Valley Girl again just the other night, just for shits and giggles, because I love it when Nick Cage says, "Fuck you." It
It is
kills
fun.
me every time. Kills me every time.
It's
All right, so we are now at 25 movies on the shit list. I'm so
yes.
excited. So
All
excited.
right. Congrats to us. I got 25.
Yeah, patting us on the back.
Yeah, we added Wolf Cop to that 25, and not many people could say their 25th is Wolf Cop. I mean,
This is true. This is true. Next week, we're going to round up the month next week with a really fun werewolf movie. This will be our last werewolf movie for a while. We kind of did all of them, but April Fool's Day for the holiday this month, and it's on Netflix. It's a free watch on Netflix called Viking Wolf. Viking Wolf is a foreign film. And it has been rated as the #1 foreign film werewolf movie. And so I would definitely recommend that you take a watch on that one with us, so that next week everyone will be on the same page and we can dive headlong into that. It's going to be a fun time. Hopefully everything goes well, and we're going to be able to simulcast on all 3 channels again next week and build some momentum and get out to the horror community and touch base with these people and let them know, hey, we're here. We want you to come talk to us.
yes,
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
Miss,
If you want, yeah, while we're here, we'll just kind of plug the thing. Go to bio.link/graverev. You can see all of our links. Right on the top, one of the first links is our Ghoulish gear, which will take you to our T Public show, our T Public page. We've got a new design up there, which is something we've adopted in this past week. Grave Reviews. It's all about the Thursday night frights. Here we are Thursday talking about our fright movies. There it is right
that's
there.
That's our new logo for Thursday Night Frights. You heard that also as part of our intro, saying that that Grave Reviews is welcoming you to Thursday Night Frights. So makes it a nice, easy way to find us.
Yeah. Looking around, there's a lot of days of the week that does horror, but doesn't seem to be any real Thursday people out there. So perfect.
Yes.
So
Yes.
at Thursday Night Frights, you search that, you can find us on most of the socials. Link it to other socials we've got going on. So yeah, come check us out. Check out the merch store. We got some cool stuff in there, and yeah, good times. Said Viking Wolf. I'm looking forward to watching the next movie here. I was going to watch it a couple times, and I put it on the back burner because I wanted to wait, clear the palate, and so we're all in this week. And,
Yes, we are. And I have to say, once again, as I always do, thank you to my co-host Chris. Thank you to LG. Thank you to my wife Maureen for backing us. Thank you to all you to coming into the chat room. We really do feel like we've got one of the best chat rooms on the internet. You guys are awesome at all times. We love our Talking Dead. Chris, is there anything you'd like to say in a final closing statement to our peoples?
I'm not gonna hurt you, Wendy, darling, love of my life. I'm not gonna hurt you. You didn't let me finish my sentence. Stay spooky out there, everybody.
Love it. May your nightmares be really groovy this week. Have a great night, guys. See you next week.
See ya.